Hey everyone, I have a question for you today. Are you a transactional agent or are you a career agent? Hi, my name is Willie Miranda with Miranda Real Estate Group, and I wanted to share with you today out of my first chapter of my new, not my new book, but I just published this a couple years ago. It's an Amazon bestseller. We've sold over 2,000 copies now, and it's How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Real Estate book, or in the real estate business. And I had a great question that came to me from someone who read the book. And she said that the grid that was inside chapter 1 that talked about transactional agent versus a career agent was something that made a huge difference for her, making her business plan going into 2019. And, let's face it, there's a big, huge shift going on today in the real estate market. I've been in the business now for over 20 years. I've seen this shift happen a few times. But if you haven't been in the business for at least 9 or 10 years, you haven't seen the shift that we're about to see coming up. And it's going to be so important that you really focus your efforts on what I'm about to say today about how important it is to be a career agent versus a transactional agent. For some of you that know or don't know, I own an Allstate insurance franchise as well. And in that business, it's so important because the margins are so low that we get paid on residuals. And it's all about repeat and referral business. And as long as we're able to keep that customer happy, we continue to get residuals from year to year. But the same goes true with real estate. But if you are not a career agent, you're going to have big problems making this new shift that we see here in our real estate economy that's going on. And the grid I'm going to talk about today is this transactional versus career agent. Again, it's in chapter 1. I'm going to go over some of these tabs, and I'll actually take an image of this and post it here inside. But wanted to talk about the differences between the two. And being a transactional agent, one of the first things that I find, and one of the first bullet points that I have on here, is that they tend to waste time. They have very, very poor time management skills. And what I mean by that is just really setting up their week, planning their day the next day, making sure that they know what's going on over the next couple of weeks, and blocking in the most important things that they need to do in order to be successful in the real estate business. So many times I've called agents at 11, 12 o'clock and either had a lead for them or were following up with them on something in their home. And what are you doing at home? Well, I didn't have anything going on today, so I figured I'd just get caught up on laundry or get caught up on doing a lawn or doing these other things, because they just had no structure in their day. But career agents know exactly what they're doing. They treat their time management, they treat their schedule just like they were if they were going to go work, at a 9-to-5 job. They get up early, they're in the office early, they already have their day and activities planned. And they treat lead generation activity really as an appointment or as a listing appointment, like I mentioned on a couple of videos ago. So transactional agents, number one, tend to waste time. Career agents use their time efficiently, and it's exactly what I talked about just by having the perfect week planned out and making sure that everything that they need to do for the week is set up. So that's number one. Number two, transactional agents have poor spending habits. And what I mean by that, they're just throwing money at everything that's out there, any new shiny object that's thrown at them, from a lead generation system to, a new fancy app, to buying leads from these different services that are out there. And what they do is they don't really have a good return on investment or a way to measure that return on investment. Now, career agents, on the other hand, know their numbers. They have all of their receipts, and they have all of their information, all of their income, everything documented somewhere, either in a QuickBooks documentation or in some type of Excel spreadsheet. But they know their numbers. They know how many pendings they have going on. They know how many closings they got coming up. They know how many leads that they're following up on, how many calls they have to make on a daily basis. Career agents know their numbers, and they strive to be the best and always beat their numbers from the previous time that they either were doing a prospecting campaign or maybe looking at their P&L, maybe looking at their personal financial statement, always trying to increase their net worth. But again, transactional agents, poor spending habits, career agents know their numbers. Number three, transactional agents don't have client loyalty. They just don't. I was at a closing not too long ago, and I remember that the other agent on the other side didn't show. And, talking with the sellers and talking with the buyers and just listening to what they were saying, they said that they would never use that agent again because they only saw that agent at the time that they listed their home. And then from there on, they either just talked to office staff or had other agents that they were dealing with. Well, my point is that sometimes with transactional agents, they just want to get the listing. They just want to get that buyer signed up, but then they don't really have a good process moving forward, and they don't have a great client loyalty. With career agents, they have a system in place. They have certain processes from the time they meet with the prospect to the time that they list their home to the time they start working with them as a buyer, right on through the end, and even have an after-sale follow-up program that they have as well, so that they're continually getting repeat and referral business. And that's the other side of the coin here, where no client loyalty, repeat and referral business on the career agent side. Number 4, lead squirrels with low conversion rate. They just want leads, but they have very low conversion rates because they don't have a good follow-up system. In my book, I talk about the 3-4-12, how important it is to follow up on that lead 3 times in the first 72 hours, once a week for 4 weeks, and then once a month for 12 months, actually reaching out to that lead actually 19 times before even giving up. And even then, you're just going to restart that 3-4-12 again. But the reality is that 80% of the leads are down the road leads. And the expectations are that if they don't get a hold of that person on the first or second try, they just let that lead go, and they have very poor lead conversion and very low conversion rates. With a career agent, they have a systematic database with higher conversion rates. In other words, they have that 3-4-12 in place. They understand the expectations that is going to take a lot longer period of time to actually convert that lead over. There's a stat that's out there. You can look it up, salesstats.com, or sales stats you could just plug in into Google, and it will show you that 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So if you're only calling those Zillow leads or Realtor.com leads, internet leads that you receive, and you're only giving them once or twice a ring, you're not going to be able to convert those leads at all, and you're going to have very low conversion rates. So again, career agents have a systemized database. They have their information either in Top Producer or into some agent office or some type of database that they're frequently checking in on and has a follow-up system in place. The other thing that I love about the database is that what we like to show our agents is how to actually categorize and sort and qualify that database. So they have their very best clients, their VIPs on top. They have their A, B, C clients, and then their D clients, which I'll do another video and actually show you exactly how to sort and qualify your database properly, so that you don't just have a huge database of just a bunch of names that you don't know which one is a good lead, bad lead, someone that's in your COI, someone that can produce more revenue to you. And I think that with transactional agents, a lot of them don't even have a database. So let's face it, the bigger your database, the more successful you're going to be in the real estate game. And that is your true asset. Just like an attorney, just like a dentist, their database is their asset. So it's so important to do that. So we'll do another video on that. Next one on here, number 5, transactional agents are ripe and rotten. They don't seek additional training and education. They think they know it all. And, they don't come to weekly sales training that you may have at the office, or come on to webinars like this and actually watch, what other agents are doing around the country that are being successful in the real estate game. I see that all the time. Agents just kind of check out, not coming to meetings. And that's the total opposite with a career agent. Career agents are always involved, right? They're in accountability group meetings. Right now, in the month of November and December, we have 26 agents that have participated in our accountability meeting that we have. And they're basically self-directed work groups that's all about accountability. They're not training. It's not mastermind. We get together in 2 groups of 13 for 1 hour, going over the micro commitments that they're going to commit to each and every week. And we pair them up with partners so that we can have that success and make sure that they're being accountable to another partner throughout the week. And then we switch the partners up, and it's been very, very good. The feedback's been very good. But again, being involved and seeking that additional accountability or training is so important. And going to different conferences and going to different events that are out there. Last year, I traveled 19 different times between real estate mastermind conferences, and even conferences outside of our industry, just trying to find different ways to grow our business, see what the latest technology is out there, what's the cutting edge stuff that's going on in the real estate market, and then bring it back to my agents to help them grow their business within my business. Okay, and then the last piece on here is that transactional agents have a low profit margin. They just have agent burnout because they don't know what they're spending money on. They're not getting that repeat and referral business, and they're just struggling. And with career agents, they have higher profit margins. They know exactly what's working for them, what's not. So they're able to stop certain marketing campaigns because it's not returning a good investment for them, but also increase and put more money into marketing campaigns that they're getting a better return on investment. And we do that each and every quarter, really looking at what's working and what's not, whether it be a postcard campaign, whether it be a Zillow campaign. And we really strive for our agents to really focus on having a high profit margin in their business and in turn having a successful business. We now have a few agents now in our top 10 that are just approaching just over 250,000, some even close to 300,000 of gross commission income, bringing home a lot of profit, with 60-70% of their business coming from repeat and referral business because they've structured this career agent mentality. They plugged into the training and they've been able to build their business as a career agent, not a transactional agent. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning here, we're going into a huge shift with the real estate market. It's going to be so important that you really focus on being more of that career agent, just because you're going to be burnt out, you're going to be out of the business. And unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of those agents that have checked out because really the last 8 or 9 years, the real estate market has increased. It's been a pretty smooth ride so far. But now that the adjustment's happening, it's going to be more important to double down on your activities and get real about your career and focusing more on that career agent. So I'll post this this photo here of this little chart that I just went over in the actual remarks down below. And if you have any questions on it, please let me know. The other thing, like I mentioned before, this book, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in a Real Estate Business. It's a book that I wrote. It's got information on time management. It's got information on the financial side that we talked about. Talks about building a team. Talks about a lot of my story and how I got into the business and what I did on getting the business to where it's at today. But really focusing on helping agents grow their business and making sure that they have the right lead generation pillars in place, the right follow-up system. I'm just referring to this chart here. The ultimate success blueprint: lead generation, follow-up, conversion. If you see here on this side, there you go. Compelling client presentations, raving fan service, repeat and referral business. Like setting this up in your business, it's going to be key and so important in order to have your real estate business be successful. The agents that are just coasting, not engaged, not doing the proper follow-up are going to be out of the business, unfortunately. And I see also a lot of part-time agents now starting to get out of the business as well because they just don't see the phone ringing and they haven't really set up their database. They're a secret agent. And right now what we're finding in the last year is that personal branding is so important. And this is why I've been pushing agents to do more videos. I've been telling agents that this is something that's very, very important because the eyes are on the internet, right? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. This is where the eyes are. This is where the consumers are going right now. They're not on TV. They're not on radio. They're on the internet. The average person uses their cell phone 3 hours a day, as a recent stat that I just saw. 3 hours a day and over an hour on Facebook each and every day. So if you're not on there and you're not letting people know what you do, again, you're going to be that secret agent. And it's so important that you really focus on getting some of these activities done. And I've been doing a lot of videos. If you like what you see here, go ahead and like our page. Share it with another real estate agent or business person. I've had a lot of business persons reach out to me as well, or business people reach out to me and say how the information has helped them, inspectors, attorneys, lenders, just saying how great the information that they received and that they've been able to use either the money bag or some of the follow-ups. They've been doing videos to, I was talking about the systematic database with higher conversion. One of the plans that we have is actually going through and getting Zillow reviews and reaching out to them on getting their dates of birth and actually doing a video for them for their birthday, or doing a video for them for either the wedding anniversary or their anniversary when they bought their home. These are all things that you need to do and stay in front of your client, because if you don't, someone else is going to take them over. And if you're absent-minded from them, you're not reaching out to them, you're just going to be shut down. One of the things that we're doing this week, we have our pie event that's going on, and I just announced it to our agents that this is our biggest year yet, with over 400 pies that we're giving out to our clients for our client event. And again, in this ultimate success blueprint, if you see on the bottom, we have on here, on the side, client events. And one of our client events that are coming up right now is our pie event. And I'll be shooting some video this week about that, but over 400 pies that we're giving out to people. And I've talked to some agents who are like, I don't have time for that. And I got to say, it's a big mistake, because even if they take the pie or don't take the pie, the fact that you offer them a pie, they're very grateful for it, keeps you top of mind. It's another touch to your clientele. And let's face it, the pies are so cheap, $8-10 a pie. But, I see agents spending thousands of dollars on Zillow for a lot less result. So I hope you like the information, and I hope you like what we went over today. If you want a free book, I'd be more than happy to actually have it. If you want to send me your email, either here below in the comments, or you can actually message me your email address. Just put on their free book, and I'll send you a link to this book so you can get the copy of my book here and all the information, the pages that are in there, through an email. If you want to buy the book, you could just go to Amazon, is on there as well, and I think it's like $14.95. Very, very cheap and very great, big value for the information that you get in there. And on the back of the page, the last page here, I have some information, some free stuff that we have, over $792 worth of free information on here, between personal brochures, sample newsletters, my buyer presentation, different seller and buyer profile interview templates, a couple webinars on here. I mean, there's tons of great information in this book. So with that, again, I hope this information was helpful. If I could be of help to you in any way. By the way, I should say that I've had over 10 people now that have taken me up on my offer to meet with them for 30 minutes to just go over their business, not talk about my business, not talk about their business, but really to focus just on what's most important to them, which is their real estate career. And it's been going pretty good. I've been talking to a lot of agents, been learning some things from them as well. And again, no obligation, just 30 minutes. And I'd be more than happy to sit down with you. So if you're interested in that, just send me a messenger. We'll set something up for 30 minutes somewhere here in the Capital District. All right, so that's it. We're done. Wanted to just say, again, thank you very much for taking the time to be on this today. And if I could be of help to you in any way, like I mentioned before, reach out to me. Scroll down, give me a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. If there's any topics that you'd like to see in the future, I'd be more than happy to do that. And with that, let's go get them this week.